Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to From the Ashes Radio. I am your dead sexy motherfucking host, Rob Williams. Welcome to the show. My co-host is busy shoveling in his Swedish meatballs, which is not code for anything. It means exactly what you think it does. Normally, this is the time of the show where we have some witty banter and ask each other about weekends and things like that.
I remind Rob I have better hair than him.
Well, I mean, that's not really a huge surprise. Yeah, you do have better hair than I do. But we got something important we got to talk about. And so because of that, I'm going to bring in two of the sexiest motherfuckers I know right now, and I hope they're ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Marty and Mike with the Motorcycle Relief Project. Hello, gentlemen.
Why do you got to say but and then Marty and Mike?
I think you know exactly why. Can you guys hear us okay?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Can you hear us?
Sadly, yes.
Right on.
I'll work around it, though.
All right. Well, we're hanging out in a Love's truck stop parking lot.
So a pretty typical Monday night for you two gentlemen, huh?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, looking for lot lizards.
You beat me to it. I'm like, yeah, they're looking for some lot lizards.
Have you ever met Marty and Mike?
I have not met these fine gentlemen yet, but they're friends of yours. I'm concerned.
Better friends. So Mike and Marty are the head cheeses at the Motorcycle Relief Project. So, Mike, why don't you talk us through what exactly is the Motorcycle Relief Project?
So Motorcycle Relief Project's a nonprofit that takes vets and first responders on 5-day adventure rides. We got a fleet of, what are you doing there? A little arm shake action off camera there.
I'll tell you about it when you're older.
Takes veterans, first responders with PTSD, depression, anxiety, all that fun stuff on 5-day adventure rides. We got a fleet of bikes. The participants don't pay for anything other than get to and from the ride, which is Denver in the summer, Tucson in the winter. And we ride during the day and then chat about stuff in the evenings and, try and get folks unstuck and send them home with a little bit lighter load than they came with.
Very cool. I love it. And if you've ever listened to this show before or seen this show, you know that on the top of every hour break, we play the commercial from the Motorcycle Relief Project. Hey, Marty, while I got you, what do you guys got going on? You got something coming up, don't you?
We do. December 3rd at the Forney Museum of Transportation. We're holding our annual fundraiser where we raise about a third of our budget for the year. It costs a lot of money to do what we do. To put one rider on a bike for a week is $1,000. To put the whole ride together for 8 participants and 4 staff members is about $9,000, $9,500 in today's dollars.
Wow.
So that's how we raise that money so we can execute our mission, which is finding veterans and first responders that we can help.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of money. Well, so let's say that somebody's listening to the show right now. It seems very unlikely. And they want to either buy a ticket. They want to make a donation. They want to, what other options do they have so they can get you some money to support what you're doing?
One
option.
First, go to www.motorelief.org, MOTO relief.org.
And we will share that link later.
On the main page, there's a place, a link to the fundraiser site. You can buy a ticket if you want to come join us in person. We'll feed you. You can hear live the stories of a couple of folks that have been through the program. And there's also, if you can attend, donate here button. And again, this is how we raise, a third of our budget for the year.
Very cool. All right. How many riders, Mike, do you know how many riders went through last year?
We figured about 42 last year. There was some turnover in the program, so we canceled a couple rides. The normal year, we do 11 rides. There's 8 participants on a ride, so 88-ish a year. The waiting list, there's over 200 folks on a waiting list. So the waiting list is perpetual and obviously ebbs and flows as folks apply and get accepted on the rides. So, so we do 8 veterans rides. We do 2 first responder rides a year. Then we do a women's ride, 1 ride a year. We might try and do 2 next year if we get enough participants. So we try and serve the male and female veteran population as well. And, we found that separating the veterans, first responders. Folks in those communities kind of speak different languages, so having participants that identify with each other. The services have the inter-server rivalries. The first responders have the fire cop medic rivalry, but they all kind of have the same overall mission, so they kind of speak the same language, have similar experiences, and come about their trauma in a lot of the same ways. So we found that doing those rides separately just helps folks connect and share that experience with those that have similar experiences.
Very cool. Yeah, and Rob is talks about you guys a bunch, and I think I might have to at some point get out there on one of those adventure bikes. I would say nerd bike, but
Yeah, the only way you can come is to go to the website and hit apply.
gotta figure out that interweb.
So, where the hell are you two?
We are in Wells, Nevada.
Yes.
I had to think. We left Denver yesterday, drove all the way to Reno, picked up a motorcycle, and now we're driving all the way back. So we've been 1,500 miles in 2 days and still have 700 miles to go till we get home.
What'd you pick up?
It's a 1978 R80/7 BMW.
Perfect for you.
Yeah, it totally says set all over it.
So somebody really donated a whole motorcycle to you guys?
So last week I just picked up a 2016 BMW R1200 GS that somebody donated. It's actually a bike that we'll put to use in the fleet. So we'll have participants riding it on our actual relief rides.
And that bike had less than 5,000 miles on it.
Let's say I've got some piece of shit Harley sitting in my garage right next door that I don't want anymore, that I want to get rid of. Will you guys take it and put a rider on it?
Negative. So our bikes are all adventure bikes, so got to be a little off-road capable. And our fleet is comprised of BMW dual sports adventure bikes of all flavors.
I'm sure one shot can put some knobbies on it and make something good happen.
If I can keep up on my aped out Softail, then
Yeah, you wouldn't be the first one.
Very cool.
Well, Rob showed the pictures of the guy that brought the first Harley Pan American on a ride.
oh yeah, how'd it do?
Yep, he rode it up the ramp onto the back of the truck.
Into the shop.
That's what happens when you get a Harley guy on an adventure bike. That's why I'm nervous.
Right.
It was a Harley Davidson.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like one.
Martin, that was not very nice. This is why you don't get invited on more radio shows, Marty.
Well, you didn't say the guy's name.
Well, I guess that's true. That kind of counts.
Hey, you can say my name. I don't. My bucket of laughs about what people think about me is empty.
Hey, are you still accepting donations for the silent auction? Can people still donate money? Let's say I live in New York State, like my buddy Stack, and he can't make it to the show. Can he at least give you guys some money?
Absolutely. You can send a check to P.O. Box 341, Fountain, Colorado 80817.
And the address is at the bottom of the website, so you can catch it there.
Super cool. I don't know if you Nicholas Burney says MRP baby truly helps, especially Bobbitt's special sauce.
Bernie liked my special sauce. That's for sure.
Some of us Harley guys will smoke you bastards on and off road, and I proved it too. That is not the way I remember that ride, Bernie. I'm not really sure what you're getting at there, guy. But
yeah,
right,
so the event will be live streamed, so there'll be a link on the fundraiser webpage to watch it virtually. And the silent auction items, you can also register and bid on some of that. So there's some adventure rider training, some motorcycle luggage, some B&B stays. So there's a lot of the stuff will be available virtually to bid on the silent auction items as well.
and that's all cool and good and whatnot. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is we're trying to put supporters in seats right this second, right? Aren't we?
Yep. Attendance a little lower this year. I know it's a hard time for, fuel prices, airplane tickets and all that are kind of high. So attendance is low, but save the money that you would have spent on a plane ticket and you can donate it to us. That won't hurt our feelings too bad. But yes, we would like to have butts in seats and folks sharing experience in person if possible.
So one of our listeners and the president, so the boss, says, are you still taking auction donations? When is the deadline?
We'll take them up the day of the event because he can add them.
I can add them live the night of.
Well, he's a real estate agent, so I assume that he wants to donate a house or something. So
that'd be awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
I'm probably gonna get fired after this. That's okay. What does it say? Gilbert Trejo from the Ashes Radio is all about vets and programs by them and for them. Very cool. And Eric Reed gives a kissy face. So okay, cool. Mike and Marty, one more time before I cut you loose and go to our next guest, which is coming on soon. Tell us what you got going on the 3rd of December.
December 3rd, 6 to 9 p.m. Our 7th annual fundraiser at the Forney Museum of Transportation in Denver. It's literally right across the street from the Denver Coliseum. We have access to the whole museum the whole night, so you can go check out all the stuff in the museum and eat dinner, have some drinks, and listen to a couple folks talk about how the organization, how MRP positively impacted their lives. There's some awesome stuff to bid on in a silent auction. There'll be some stuff to bid on in a live auction, like vacations and whatnot. But unfortunately, if you're not present, you can't bid on the live auction stuff.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back on the highway because I know you want to get back to your families. Gentlemen, have a great Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you sooner, I'm sure I'll get a text from Marty immediately after this broadcast. Looking forward to seeing you guys, and I will see you guys on the 3rd of December.
Nice. Hey, we're going to hang out and watch the Amorati flavored makeup stuff because that was pretty cool. We checked it out on Instagram today. Just the Marines might try and eat it, but
well, Rob, if you ain't going to see us on December 3rd if you don't go get your damn ticket.
I'm going. I got to figure out I'm bringing. I got to get some guys. Junior and his girl are coming. I got to get tickets for everybody else. You know, I was kicking Bernie in the nuts about this today. We'll make something happen.
All right, man. Brother, we'll see you. Thanks, guys.
Be good, boys.
Out here.
See ya. So, yeah, what are you doing 3rd of December? You and Crystal want to come?
I guess we're going.
It has historically been my party of the year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cut loose.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, motorcycles, fundraising, veterans. Oh, it's nasty, dude. It's bad. On the same night, there is video of me in a pair of Red Ranger panties riding a BMW motorcycle at the inside of Performance Cycle. Levels of sobriety are up for question. And in that same evening, I almost killed the owner's daughter unintentionally. We were helping to take down the stage, and I let go of something, and the whole stage fell down, and she happened to be behind it.
Oh my God, Rob.
Yeah. I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree. It's a good thing I'm extremely attractive because I'm really not the brightest bulb. Oh. So yeah,
looks get you a long way. I mean, look at where I'm at.
Yeah, I see it. It is the best of causes, ladies and gents. If you haven't ever been to, I first of all, highly recommend you buy a ticket. It is a great time for a great cause. That's one clean ass mullet. That's awesome.
Fresh today.
It's a really good time. It's motorcycles, it's dinner, it's hearing war stories from veterans. What you looking for? Your phone?
Yep.
You lost it. We need to get you your own Lysol can. Well, as soon as Lysol starts sponsoring the show, that is.
Yes. We've been giving them free ad space for a while.
We do. And
I feel like they owe us some back pay and do some cases of Lysol.
So, I'm friends with Mandy Connell, and she's constantly giving she listens to the show, and she constantly gives suggestions on ways to make it better and things to do. And she's like, you need to move that Lysol can. And I'm like, not happening. The Lysol can is the institution. That is the show. And she's like, do they pay you? I'm like, well, not yet exactly, but we're working on that.
A lot of back
so yeah,
building it up.
Show doesn't happen without the Lysol can. But let's see what else we got here. Judy and Atencio is watching. Sage Shelton, Eric Reed, Gilbert Trejo from the Ashes Radio. Oh, that's cool. I think he's trying to tag somebody. Rock of the Marne. Who's Rock of the Marne? Gilbert Trejo. Lies. Well, hey, folks, thank all of you for listening, especially you, Bernie, because I know you're down there in Texas. Welcome. Congrats again. Nathan Hucker. Where's your buddy RZ tonight?
I don't know. Ask Nathan Hucker. He keeps better tabs on them than I do.
He's like one of one of our regulars. Have you tweeted Lysol yet? M and Zoe say hello. Hello, girls. It's good to see you. So they've been on part of the show for quite some time. Now we're just waiting for Badass Beauties to dial in, which should be any second. Let me send her a message real quick. But what do you call it? How was your week?
It was good. How was yours? Well, it just started. But
what's that?
I said, well, it just started. But
your week?
It was good. Yeah. You know what? I heard that you had a successful hunt.
Very successful hunt.
Do you want to tell your it's like a fishing tale. Do you want to tell your hunting story?
So for those that don't know, well, first of all, I was elk hunting 2 weeks ago and I fell and it screwed up my whole hunt. It was a bad day. Yeah, so where is she here? Badass Beauty's looking for her. But I had a deer tag, and so I went out to a place called Haymaker Ranch, not far from here, actually, out on the Elizabeth-Kiowa border. Rob Williams, Trejo is a first-time listener. Oh, very cool. Welcome to the show, man. Yeah, and so I was able to, me and my buddy, we knocked down a couple of deer, cleaned them all up. My son came with us, he was on the show last week, if you didn't hear. And so he doesn't do blood all that well. Like he doesn't blow it at all. And I'll tell that story another date and time. He doesn't do blood well at all. But he did really well when it came time to cleaning everything up and getting it all packaged up and getting it out of the field and whatnot. He did very, very well. I was very proud of him. He did very well. Now our obstacle is, because it's so late in the season, we're having a hard time finding a place to process the damn things.
Oh.
And so they're currently sitting in my freezer at home, which... You've met my lovely wife.
That was
she instantaneously where my mind went. I'm like, there are
Sandy's real happy.
2 deer in garbage bags in the bottom of my freezer right now. She is less than enthusiastic, is the way I'll say it. So we are looking for a good processor. So yeah. But in the meantime, let us introduce our new first-time listener, Gilbert Trejo, to our friend Kimberly with Badass Beauties, and hopefully she's ready. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
I am not.
I'm as ready as I'm going to be for this.
There she is, Kimberly
Hi.
with Badass Beauties.
How y'all
Can
doing?
you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, welcome to From the Ashes Radio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're excited you're here. We've been waiting for this for a very long time, so I'm very excited.
Same.
We literally have brand new listeners here because of you.
Wow, I'm glad I can bring them on.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I honestly didn't even know if she existed or if this was just some story you were telling.
Nice.
It's been so long. So we're happy to have you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and maybe your prior or your service, so forth and so on.
Okay, well, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I started Badass Beauties back in 2019 while I was working as a first responder. Badass Beauties is basically a brand to help women feel more comfortable and confident wearing makeup and uniform and to wherever, their place of work is. The backstory to that is kind of like in the military, for most of us, it kind of strips us of our femininity and, it makes us feel like we can't be feminine and serve our country or, serve our community. So I created this brand to kind of bridge that gap to let women know that you can be feminine and girly and pretty and still do your job just fine.
It's very important to One Shot, so I'm glad to hear that. Hey, so let's start at the beginning. So I knew a little bit of your backstory, but not a whole lot of it. So you're a prior service Marine. Tell us about when you joined the Marines and why, and what you did while you're in the Marines.
I joined back in 2008. So funny story is I went to college first and I did a year of college. I was doing performing arts, total opposite of military. And I couldn't pay for school anymore. And then I got a job at like Toys R Us and I was like, I can't just work this like dead end job. I have to do something more. So I literally walked out of work that day, walked into the recruiting office, and the Marine Corps recruiter was the only one there. and that's how that happened. So while I was in, I went open contract. I wanted to be like radio operator, motor T, something like that. But that job wasn't ready at the time. So I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna go. So I went open contract and I got food service. So I was a cook in the Marines. I really
would
enjoyed it, so it was
say
a good time.
cooks work harder than any other individual in the military.
I would not want to be a cook. I don't know how
No,
people do it.
Yeah, the
is-
hours are crazy.
like, unless you like actually take a look at it when you're inside, you're like, oh wait, they work more hours doing harder work than
Mhm.
I think everybody.
What'd you start to say, Kimberly? I interrupted you.
Now, I was saying the work hours as a cook are crazy. Like if you're
Crazy.
cooking breakfast, you have to be like at the chow hall at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
AM?
Yeah.
Yes.
Screw that. Good. I thought sick call was bad being having to be there at 6 a.m. for all the jerks with their lame and broken.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw that
Mhm.
noise. So how long were you in for?
I did my 4 years active.
And then punch the ticket, huh?
I actually wanted
Good
to stay in. So my thing was I wanted to be a drill instructor. And when I went to re-enlist, they said they weren't taking drill instructors, they were taking recruiters. I said, I want to do that. I said, okay, well then I want to go to Cali. And they said, no, we need people in Okinawa. I said, okay, well if I'm not going to get what I want in my next enlistment, I'm just going to go ahead and get out. So that's what I did.
Martin Solberg, our last interview, says, hey, Marines got to eat.
They too.
Screw that, man. I'm not interested. All right. So then you get out and you form Badass Beauties. And let's be crystal clear. This is not just an ordinary makeup company, is it?
No.
Tell us about Badass Beauties. So my wife, we ordered a bunch of it to give it a test drive for this show. And I didn't realize until we opened up the pack. Oh shit, I forgot. I was supposed to bring a bunch of it for Crystal.
No worries.
My bad.
I got some to show.
Yeah.
So these are my best sellers. Funny thing about this design is I had it for about a year before I even produced it. So I was a little scared to like put it out there because I was like, people are gonna hate it. They're gonna talk crap about it. So I sat on this design for a while, and then I mustered up the courage to be like, whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna do it. So the first one I came out with was this one. I don't know if you guys can see it good.
Oh,
And
yeah,
this
we
was
can
more like I know my screen's like really small, so like you guys are small on my screen. This is my personal one, that's why it's all smudged. But this was the first one I came out with. And do you have one of these?
I do.
Yeah, so it has all the names of things you'll find in the MRE, and it went viral the first time I launched it. And of course, there was a lot of negativity on it, and I still went with it. I didn't care what people said. So then, I always listen to feedback of what people say. A lot of people are like, well, it's really bright colors. We can't wear that in uniform. I get it. So then I came out with this one, and I called it Nudes, and it has like more of like neutral colors in it,
Which
softer
is crazy.
colors.
I'm a huge fan of nudes, so that's perfect.
But I made sure I wrote mine a little different. So I kind of just went with this theme because I noticed that is what like people know me for. So even though I have like other products, these are like my biggest sellers. So then I just kind of branched out with that. And then I did a blush palette, which is like the blush shades, and they're all named after desserts you'll find in the MRE. And then I did the highlighter palette, and they're named after snacks and things you'll find in there too.
So I wish you could have heard my wife having the conversation with my friend Kathleen as they were opening up these packages and going through it. And she's like, oh, I'm not much of a scrambled eggs girl. I'm more of a grape jelly and Tabasco kind of girl. And I'm like, what the hell are you two talking about? And they're like, oh, we got our package from, Badass Beauties.
They're talking about the colors.
Yes. And that was just hysterical. So
That's funny.
So I don't know if you can see the comments from some of our listeners.
Can't.
You can't?
Mm-mm.
You should be able to click on a button there and you should be able to see the comments. If you click
the
on
chat?
Yeah. And you can see all the comments from all the listeners.
Some
Don't respond to them because those guys are jerks. Don't worry about it.
There's a couple of good questions.
There are.
Eric Reed asked, can I find this in the PX? Have you
No,
got
it's
the
not in the
APG?
PX. No.
Darn, we need to work on that.
I talked to somebody about it because I was trying to get it in the PX because that's my main audience. And someone was telling me like the way the PX works, they don't they won't have a lot of the same product because in competition with another brand. So if they have makeup already in the PX, then they won't have a contract with another makeup brand. I don't know, but I'm still gonna, look into it for myself and see how that goes. That's my next step.
Nice. I think that would do well.
I think it would do extremely
considering
Yeah,
your-
that was like
You know, a
one
lot
of
of
my
people
main
say
goals
do
is
this
to get it
here,
there.
so that's awesome. A lot of hype on the names. People really like the names.
Yeah.
How big is this company right now? Is this you like making this stuff in a bathtub like it's meth or what?
No, so I make the design and I pick my colors and stuff, and I have a manufacturer put it together. So all the designs of all of my products are customized, and I customize them myself. But I don't like mix up the ingredients myself and press them. I have a manufacturer that does that. But I am a one-woman show. I do everything myself. I have no employees yet.
Well, well done. Well, very well
Thank
done.
you.
And is it-
Thank you.
Obviously, you're successful at this so far.
Yeah, it's going really well. It's doing well. So I resigned from my full-time job last year in June, and I've just been full-time with Badass Beauties, and I've been doing good. Excuse me. So I can't complain.
We like on this show, we really like hearing about veterans that are having success. So this
Mhm.
makes us happy.
especially doing something that you're passionate for and you
Right.
enjoy. I feel like that's
Mhm.
kind of our nature. Is like you don't just like kind of hang out in the military. You like hunt for things you want to do,
Mhm.
and I feel like that's about the only way we feel like any sort of fulfillment in our job. We don't punch time clocks and like
No,
fulfillment.
you're on all the
We're
goddamn
good.
time.
No, so yeah, you good job. I like that.
What does the future look like for Badass Beauties?
I don't know, but my goal is to get this business to a point where I can hire employees, and I want all of my employees to be other women veterans. So that is the goal.
I like it.
Like it.
I like it a lot. That's good stuff. What do you call it? I don't know if you heard our previous interview with the Motorcycle Relief Project, but what we should do is we should buy a bunch of your stuff and put it on the table up for auction at the Motorcycle Relief Project Gala that's coming up on the 3rd of December.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I will
That's
get with
another
you
thing. I'd like to
afterwards.
work with more nonprofits. I want to find out about more like veteran or military nonprofits. Of course, we know of the big ones like Wounded Warriors and things of that sort, but I don't really know of many like small ones. I've heard about like the Pink Berets recently. I think Bombshell Patriots, but I would love to hear about like more, veteran owned or military owned nonprofits that I can give back to as well.
Well, I know of a great radio station with struggling talent that would be happy to partner with you.
Would that be you?
Well, I mean, we got a lot of DJs that are happily looking for help. So yeah, it's more like
let's talk.
we'll talk.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. So before Allie comes on, I'm going to give you your 2 minutes. So check it out. We may have glossed over a question. We may have missed something. We may have not given you a question that you wanted to have answered. This is your time to shine. This is your spotlight. Take the next 2 minutes. Keep in mind that you're on an internet-based radio station, so you have listeners all over the world. Take the next 2 minutes and talk about whatever you want in relation to Badass Beauties, the veteran community, and 2 dead sexy radio hosts.
2 minutes is a long time. That's a long time to talk. That's something we haven't gone over. Well, my social medias. On Instagram, my handle is badass_beauties_. TikTok is bad a beauties. Same thing for Facebook, it's bad a beauties. And then my website is badassbeautiesco.com. I mean, what else is there to talk about me? I'm originally from New York City. We're based out of Houston, Texas. I've been in Houston now for almost 10 years. I run this whole business by myself. I do everything, package, shipping, content, website design, everything. I do it by myself. I just really want people to know that Badass Beauties is a way to empower women to be comfortable in their femininity again. Because I know what happened to me back in 2019 is when I had that like epiphany of why do I feel like I have to be masculine in order to be respected or taken seriously? And I said, if I feel that way, I know a lot of other women who went through the same course of life must feel that way. So that's where this whole business came from. And yeah, I just hope that, it resonates with other women and, they understand where I'm coming from, and that we, form a community.
Well, I would tell you that we've gotten a lot of feedback leading up to this interview and a lot of good comments during the interview. So I feel like your website is going to get a few more hits. Do you have any good sales coming up for Christmas?
Oh, yes. Well, currently I am running a Black Friday sale. It started last week. All the MRE palettes are currently on sale. And then I have a new holiday bundle that I'm releasing on Thanksgiving Day.
Very cool. And those will be available on the website and Instagram and all that?
Yes.
Excellent. So if I go on your TikTok, am I going to see a whole bunch of videos of you dancing to, whatever song is popular at the time?
No, I don't do that on TikTok. It's all Badass Beauty stuff. I don't do the whole dancing, the TikTok dances. I know I'm very youthful looking, but I'm in my 30s, so I'll leave that to the younger generation.
One Shot is also 30, so yes.
28.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm 33, and I still get carded to buy a scratch-off ticket at the gas station.
I wouldn't call that a negative thing. It must be your great makeup compilation.
I mean, I don't have anything on now, but
Me either.
I just have a very youthful face. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, but it's also like annoying because I'm like, I'm not a child. So,
are you gonna do any kind of cosmetics or anything for the dudes?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the dudes want. What do you guys want?
Huge views, bro.
Well, I mean, as you can tell by looking at me, I'm very, very particular about my skincare routine. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential there.
There is potential there for that. I did have that idea of doing like a skincare line, more of like, body butters and, body scrubs and things of that sort. I haven't executed it yet, but that is a thought. I don't know what guys want or need, but if you guys give me some ideas,
One Shot
we'll see
knows
what
all
happens.
about what guys want.
I knew that was coming.
I don't even. I mean, what do you guys even use on a day-to-day basis other than soap?
I use lotion sometimes.
Yeah, on my bony elbows,
It's a moisturizer. Okay. I mean,
see, look at us.
Right, that's a good idea. But then that kind of
like
bumps heads with the brand. It's about the ladies. So I might make skincare for ladies, but you guys can also use it as well.
Well, if we look better, it's kind of for the ladies too.
See,
That's
I don't think you guys haircut yourself, do you?
Yeah, the wife loves this.
Well, Kimberly, it's been great having you on part of the show. We will hang this up on all of your favorite podcast platforms tomorrow, so you can distribute it as you'd like to.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being a part of From the Ashes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Kimberly, the owner, executor, and basically boss lady in charge of Badass Beauties. Go on to their Instagram and their website. Check them out. Check out some of the stuff. Excellent products. My wife's been very happy with them so far. She's only had it for a week or two, and she's been very happy with it. So, thanks for being a part of From the Ashes Radio.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I had a good time.
You too. It's been great having you.
The rest of your night.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gents. So what we're going to do, you know what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a quick break before we get Allie here. And so I'm sure you have seen this once or twice before, but it's time to check it out again.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is the Second Amendment of the United States of America's Constitution. This Second Amendment, the right of law-abiding Americans to privately own and possess firearms, is under attack like no other time in America's history. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have pledged to take away your Second Amendment rights through gun bans, gun confiscations, and government regulations. Even a gun tax. Do not take this lying down. The time to take action and fight to protect your Second Amendment rights is now. Join the Second Amendment Foundation, the oldest and largest nonprofit foundation focused on protecting your Second Amendment rights. For more information, to join, or to donate, visit saf.org.
When my baby girl was diagnosed with depression, I didn't think it was a real disease. I didn't get her any medication or therapy because I thought she would grow out of it. I wish I'd helped my baby. Depression is a disease, and there is hope.
We can help. Find out more.
Oh, there you go. Hey, check this out. Here's the situation. Say you out with your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You know, you're at school, you at a club or something, getting busy. All right, you just having fun. Somebody steps up to you and they tell you they want to rumble. All right, now just stop for a second. Before you lose your head, get all crazy and toss your hands up, just think. The person that uses their head can always defeat the person that's just trying to use their hands. Now remember that, because the more you know.
Ugh, I hate these big-ass prices.
Sounds like you could use some big-ass savings.
I'd love some big-ass savings.
Kmart Shop Your Way members save 30 cents a gallon.
30 cents a gallon? That's a big-ass discount.
Big-ass discount.
A really big-ass discount.
Really big-ass discount.
Honey, this solves your big-ass problem.
Totally solves my big-ass problem.
Dad, look at that big-ass truck.
Big-ass man.
Hello, big-ass man.
Shop Your Way members get big-ass savings. Save 30 cents a gallon when you spend $50 or more at Kmart.
And now, another priceless pep talk from Peyton Manning.
Heard you're bummed about driving a minivan. That's okay. It's okay. Is it at least like a sport turbocharged minivan or something? No? All right, here's what you're going to do. Take that baby out and paint some flames on it. Or get a cool decal. Maybe like a number 18 on the side or something. Yeah. You're feeling me. You love it.
Go to Priceless.com for a personalized pep talk you can send.
You're finally back at her place for a little brown chicken brown cow when you get hit with love potion number 2.
Are you okay?
You skip to the loo before that keister kangaroo jumps out of its pouch. Now, what do you do?
Hurry up, come on. Come on, I'm on a date. This isn't happening right now.
You let that badonka-donk honka-honk and strike a match in the hopes you won't strike out. But alas, your chance of date number 2 just went up in flames.
Are you okay?
Do you have insurance? Just wondering.
It smells like burnt hair and blue cheese.
I got it.
Are you positive?
Don't worry about it.
Are you sure you're okay? You there?
You drop trow and give it your all like it's a
What a beautiful morning.
So thus far, we are not seeing Allie on the board. So I assume that she's still on her vacation at that Edenist Resort. What is that? One of those like swingers things or whatnot that they do?
Right. That's what she was telling me.
That's exactly.
There's swings in every room.
Exactly. Which I didn't even know that she was into acrobatics. But hey, whatever, man.
You know?
I got a lot of messages over the week asking people to talk about. So I guess when you get out and let's say you get rated, you get your disability rating, you know, let's just say you can get 100% disabled, which does not mean that you can't work and all that stuff, folks. It just means that they're giving you 100% disability. You can still work. Or you can get 100% and they call it permanent and total. And that means that like, hey, your injuries are, it's like if you've, lost a leg or two, or some body parts or a real severe brain injury or something like that, you get what's called permanent and total. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this.
I don't know about the terminology, but I do know there's two different 100%.
Yeah.
One of I've always just thought of them as the working and non-working.
Well, I guess from what I understand, and again, we need her for this, but I guess if it's permanent and total, that means that like that's it. You're for the rest of your life, you are getting disability from the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Yes, because when I do know this. When you, let's say you get out of the military, like, so I'm medically retired, right? Just means you're 30 or more %, you're medically retired. That will never change. It won't go up, won't go down. It's done. Signed, sealed, delivered. You were out as of this day. This is what you are. Your VA rating can get better or can get worse. Meaning, when you transition out of the military and they're fixing something, they fix it, you can lose the rating on that particular thing.
So, yup. And from like, for example, like cancer. Let's say you get like, I don't know, debilitating ass cancer or something. And then go to the VA. Can I still listen to your show on an app? I love the text messages we get during the show. You get debilitating ass cancer. You go to the VA, they fix your ass cancer. While you're getting treated for your ass cancer,
you're getting rated for it.
You're getting rated at 100% disability because you're getting fixed. But once the cancer is fixed, you're no longer 100%.
Is there any particular reason you chose ass cancer?
It's one of the, I would guess that would be one of the worst ones ever. I wouldn't want to get it. I'd rather get, fucking debilitating like face cancer than ass cancer.
I don't potentially we could say colon cancer.
Okay.
So we're trying to be professional.
Look, you're much better at this than I am. I'm clearly here for my stunning good looks. I get it.
Okay.
I'm the eye candy. I get it.
Yes, you have it as far as I know, but I don't know it extraordinarily well. But from what I understand, there are two different 100%. And the one where you're not working or incapable of any work whatsoever, there's other programs around there where you can increase your benefits. Or your compensation.
The reason this came up, and tell me if you've ever bumped into this, the reason that this came up this way is because I have a buddy who's in Vegas. He had a different friend who's in the Army. He gets rated 100% disability.
Okay.
Cool. As far as he's concerned, he's thumbs up. I'm getting 100% disability for the rest of my life. And then proceeds to like put all of his weightlifting stuff and like long distance running on Instagram and all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, I can barely walk. Well, you just ran a 50 miler. So really, are you?
Well, that's kind of like that. Yeah. The story we had like a month ago, we talked
about. Yeah, exactly.
This guy's like 100% in his medical record of whatever it was, VA form, medical record, whatever, documented he cannot lift over 5 pounds over his head. The guy's a professional bodybuilder.
Yep.
Yes.
I remember that story. You're exactly right. Yeah. Well, and I guess so that homeboy, the reason my buddy was reaching out is because homeboy, the VA was looking at his Instagram and we're like, is this you? And so homeboy, I guess they're looking to come down on him now for fraud.
Yeah. Well, that dude that we read that story about, I think I could be completely wrong, but I think it said that he was going to do 10 months in jail over it and owed this crazy amount of back pay.
Yeah. I just came across something just recently where some dude got a house from like Homes for Warriors or something like that. It was called. They gave him a house because he was supposedly paralyzed and in a wheelchair. Well, and then the neighbors were taking pictures of him like walking around the front yard.
Oh.
Yeah, so I posted this story probably 3-4 days ago or something like that. And I've been inundated with emails and messages from people. That guy ended up going to jail because of that. And he died in jail.
Oh.
You're like, damn, well, that sucks a lot. All because you were being an ass and accepting a house when you shouldn't have and whatever else. I don't know. So yeah. Well, it looks like Allie's probably not going to make it tonight because she's at her swingers convention. In the meantime, we should totally bring in Rich with O'Connell West Law. He might have a take on all this stuff. I don't know what he's going to talk to us about, but he might have an opinion on some of this stuff. So yeah. Rich, how the heck are you, bud?
I'm all right. How are you?
Man, they are working me into the ground, but I mean, you get that.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, for
entertaining tonight because your cohort last week was extremely entertaining.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for you to follow up on
I don't
Trent,
know
man.
if
She
it's
was pretty
possible.
cool.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that you're gonna be highly disappointed, and there's nothing, nothing
Oh,
we
it's
can
just
do
not
about
for my wife.
that. Well, for those out there that haven't met me, I'm Richard Hood. I work at a law firm, O'Connell West. Our main office is in Austin, and we do a lot of service for the veterans community. All of us are veterans. We fortunately or unfortunately kind of know the ins and outs of all the weird Army admin stuff that you're probably dealing with on a daily basis. And so whenever you have problems with that kind of stuff, that's what we specialize in helping out with. And for those of you who don't know, we did recently open up an office up in Harker Heights. So fortunately, now, if you're in the Killeen area, you don't have to drive an hour or an hour and a half all the way down to Austin just to see us. You can go see our buddy Ollie over there in the Harker Heights office, and it's really nice, actually. I would go in there just to hang out.
I'm guessing that Doug keeps you in like some kind of dungeon because you're the newest guy to pass the bar.
Yeah,
and you're off.
That's pretty accurate.
Look, I worked with Doug for a long time, dude. I totally get it.
Yeah, dungeons are his thing, or whatever kind of whatever kind of convention that was Allie's thing.
Well, that answers my question. Did you hear the conversation we were having before we brought you on?
Kind of the tail end of it, I heard some, I don't know if I want to say it, some sort of convention. And then before that, you were talking about fraud. So, yeah, don't do fraud.
Don't do fraud. That's not a lawyer talking.
That's my lawyerly advice for today.
We brought up a story. I'll give you a quick snapshot of this individual who was rated 100% through VA compensation, right?
Yeah.
It was in his documentation that he could not lift like 5 pounds over his head, et cetera, like extremely disabled physically, right? Has problems sitting and standing and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, lo and behold, he's a professional bodybuilder competing and has all these videos of him like deadlifting 500 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm. We've all been there.
Hey, you know.
Yeah.
You do that when you stand up.
Pretty good warm-up weight. Yeah.
Anyway, that's what we're waiting for your amazing input and knowledge on.
Well, this kind of reminds me of my former unit PT, right? Where a lot of the older guys, whether officers or NCOs, are on their permanent profiles. But come this time of year, when it's time for your unit turkey bowl, some of these people just morphed into professional athletes, and they're suddenly like sprinting laterally across the field, jumping like 6 feet into the air, catching footballs with one hand, doing somersaults into the end zone. But then, you
can't do unit PT runs.
I can't do unit PT runs because I'm permanently disabled. So, I mean, yeah, it's a thing. I don't know that there's some special thing I can say about it other than, don't do it. I will say that, it's possible you could be accused of something like that and you didn't do it, right? And my best advice there would be, so many people get in trouble by just trying to explain themselves to the authorities, whether it's CID, the police, or whoever. And a lot of times what you need to do is just stop, right? And because you don't know what other laws, what other rules or regulations are out there. And you might just talk yourself into a violation of one of those things instead. A great example of that comes from Texas law, and this happens all the time, by the way. Someone will get accused of sexual assault, and the police will come in, give them a speak like, hey, we're on your side. We just want to hear your side of the story. Just be honest with us. And then that person who's been accused is like, oh, yeah, let me try to explain this away. And they'll try to, whether it's truth or just them trying to mold the facts to their favor, they'll say, we were just doing this. And then I kind of touched this body part. And they'll walk themselves right into a Class A misdemeanor indecent assault, which is a thing in Texas, by the way. So if you smack somebody on the rear end or other places and you think you're being fun and you misread the situation, congratulations, you just landed yourself a year in county jail. So that's a very roundabout, long-winded way of saying, if you're accused of that stuff, don't go blabbing your mouth and trying to talk your way out of it. Call someone like us. It's our job to read all the nitty-gritty details of the law, all the case law behind it, to know what's really going on. And we can help you tell your truthful story, but in a way that's not going to get you in trouble accidentally with whoever's doing the investigation into you.
You made a point earlier about the whole, unit PT, and then when it comes time to play football, everybody's, suddenly an acrobat.
Yes.
Does that happen in the military? Like, say, can you legitimately get in trouble for breaking your profile? I don't know how else to word. I'm sure there's a better word for it, but I don't know that. Like, hey, I can't go on PT runs, but football day, all of a sudden I'm like catching one-handers.
Man, this is like a commander's quiz from back in the day.
Oh, I wasn't trying to quiz you.
Yeah. You can get in trouble. I don't know that it's necessarily a legal thing. I'm honestly thinking more of it from a commander's perspective. Being a former one, you let people break their profiles, and then you're responsible for your unit's health and readiness. Then you're the one getting in trouble for not monitoring that kind of stuff. I view it more of a leadership problem than you necessarily breaking your own profile, because you should be wanting to get yourself well, and you just got too exuberant on Thanksgiving wanting to show off your skills. By the way, you mentioned 50-mile runs. So one time I did a 30-mile run, so not nearly 50. Yeah. Made it about halfway real good. Thought me and the other guys doing it were, super big bosses for running 30 miles. But about halfway in, we all got really tired. And the rest of the time, it was just stay-at-home moms like zooming past us saying like, "Oh, I train on my Peloton all the time." I was like, what the heck? Yeah, don't think don't think you're gonna have anything on any of the moms or the army wives out there waiting, or army husbands. There's some pretty serious people out there that'll run you into the ground.
Were you ever stationed at Carson?
I was not, unfortunately.
Are you familiar with what the incline is?
I've heard of that. It's actually been a few years since I heard anybody mention that. But yeah, that would come up every once in a while, somebody talking about it in the background. But I have no personal experience with it. What happens on the incline? It's
just like you described. It's stairs built into the side of a mountain that basically go a mile up. And we used to do it on Thursdays for PT before it, like COVID and whatnot. And you had to, now you have to make reservations and all that crap, but whatever. But we used to do it on Thursdays for PT. And and you feel like a badass. You're like doing your best to get up the thing. And sure enough, some little old lady with 2 ski poles, 90 years old, out of the way, Junior. And she'd go cranking past you with her ski poles.
She does it twice a day.
Because she does it twice. Exactly. And you're like, I feel like shit now. But whatever.
We need to find all these people. They're like sleeper cells and make them into their own specialized unit. I don't know how you go about doing that, but
once we go to war with Taiwan, they'll all get drafted anyway. No big deal.
Grandma pops out and slays dragons.
Well, Rich, any advice for anybody before Thanksgiving break pops up?
Hey, people have fun at Thanksgiving. You might be playing some football. You might have a little too much to drink. Get out there. Like we just said, when you're getting quizzed by the investigator, don't just blab your mouth. Call us at O'Connell West. It's our job to intercede for you and make sure that you get the fairest take it justice possible. And we're excited to do that. So please, I'm begging you, don't give in to the "we're on your side" speech from the investigator. They're not on your side. We're on your side. Call us.
What's
That's
the
all
number?
I got. It's 512-547-7265. As always, I'll give it one more time. 512-547-7265. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time.
We will see you after Thanksgiving, man. Thanks for being a part of the show, Rich. Good to see you, bud.
You too. Bye. Bye-bye.
Man, that was awesome.
Dude, you'll see this in a minute.
Uh-oh. Are we in trouble?
But for those of you that have not heard, we had a horrific shooting in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, five people at the Club Q in Colorado Springs.
Yeah. LGBTQ club.
There's a gay club.
Gunman goes in, 18 people injured, 5 dead. Did you know that one thing is thoroughly impressive is the timeline of Colorado Springs law enforcement showing up.
Tell me, I haven't heard about it.
They showed up and it was literally 2 minutes and he was in custody. But it's because he'd already been stopped. Do you know who stopped him? Retired Army.
Oh, no shit.
Yep.
I mean, that makes sense. It is the Colorado Springs community.
I just got sent that, and I was like, you know what?
That's
good
badass.
one.
Yeah.
You know,
that is
one
pretty
thing. You've heard me say this before. Before I started co-hosting with you, I was on the show, and one of the things I always think about, and I've always lived, is when you get out and become a civilian, you're still not a civilian. You know, take some sort of accountability of what you are, and use it in a good way. Like, that doesn't mean you all of a sudden, like, you know, I so many of my military buddies, like 3-4 months out of you know, ETS, retirement, whatever. They are the biggest waste of fucking couch potato shit ever. Like, dude, you know, a year ago, you were a stud. You were like doing something with your life. You were healthy. You did this, you did that. You worked, you know, you volunteered. You helped out your community, and you are wasting oxygen now. Something amazing.
The first time I saw you fight, after your fight, and you knocked the shit out of that motherfucker, which was a great fight, by the way. You gave a very heartfelt, impassioned, and I believe you were getting a little choked up when you were doing it, speech to all the veterans in the audience, and you got a standing ovation for it. And it was basically, what I took from it was, you know, find something that you love and just simply attack it. And I mean, even now, when it came time to find a co-host, that speech was the reason I reached out to you. I mean, it meant a lot. So, I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Another great example is Badass Beauties.
Yeah, look at her.
Yeah, living her life to the fullest, doing something awesome for women.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get online after this, and I can't say it on here if the wife listens. But I'm gonna get online.
I mean, dude, you're a shining example of it. I mean, look at you. You got out. You finished your time in the Army. You got out, and now you're living your dream. You own a jiu-jitsu academy. Do you know how many people would love to do that? You know how many of us shitty ass white belts would say that? So I'm gonna own my own jiu-jitsu academy one day. No, you're not.
Just to let you know, it might take about 15, 20 years of breaks and tears and blood and lots of discomfort and headache and being broke, and then you're still broke, but you're enjoying what you do. So, yeah, as she was saying that, I was literally, I mean, not that I like to just thinking about myself, but I was thinking about myself. I'm like, that really is the dream, is to get out and do something cool with your life and not be fucking punched in a time clock at Toys R Us, which you couldn't do if you wanted to anymore, because
they don't exist.
They don't exist.
Jeffrey, you can't be Jeffrey anymore. That was literally the conversation I had with my best friend in the whole world today on my lunch break. I sat in the garage, smoked a cigar, and this is literally the conversation, because he's retired in 3 years, and he's like, "What's next for me?" And I'm like, "Dude, you've got a ton of leadership experience. It's time for you to put it to use." So I don't really know. In the meantime, we're crunching our time clock here, but let me find the tribute to, or excuse me, the Never Forgotten that Eric put together for us for tonight. Let's see here. It's Doritos flag. I'm not seeing it. Why am I not seeing it? October 17th, October 24th, October 23rd. I really need to clean this thing up. I don't see one. Oh, well. He gave it the best effort, I guess. Anyway, all right, folks. We don't have a Never Forgotten for today, unless you have a name that you want to throw out there, and we can keep them in our.
I do not have one today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, while you are sitting down with your families over this coming week on Thursday in just a few short days, when it comes time to put your hands together, and remember some names. Please think about all of those that are you do still have troops in harm's way right now. You have troops that are deployed all over the world. I understand that our nation is coming down off of a couple of conflicts, but you still have people that are deployed. You have sailors that are underway, that are on ships in the middle of the ocean. You have Air Force crews that are manning airplanes somewhere in the middle of a desert somewhere, soldiers doing their thing, Marines shoveling down crayons, I guess, or something. I don't really know. But you have troops in harm's way still. So when you put your hands together, you sit down to eat your turkey, take a minute to remember those that are not around their families. And remember those firefighters, police officers, and paramedics that are rolling heavy on the streets that day and doing their best to keep you safe. So thank you much for being a part of From the Ashes Radio. Thanks for listening in, and go buy your tickets to the fundraiser for the Motorcycle Relief Project. Thanks a lot for being a part of From the Ashes Radio, ladies and gents.
Night, folks.
Have a great weekend.
See you next week.